Turkey raised the kid. And the kid comes into the United States, lives enough years in the United States to qualify for the residence requirement, gets to be 35 years old, doesn't speak a word of English. The left says, hey, natural-born citizen because he was born in the United States.
Well, Vattel Law of Nations, which is an international standard for any bilateral treaty agreements, or so that countries can agree with each other in a bilateral fashion, says both parents must be natural-born citizens.
Yeah, right. Well, Vattel was the basic philosopher that set out the natural law with regards to the law of nations. And there's good documentary evidence that both Benjamin Franklin and George Washington had copies of Vattel and were circulating them and discussing them with the founders during the Constitutional Convention. And also, the whole term natural-born citizen is a term of art of natural law. And it does mean more than just citizen. Otherwise, why would the founders write these natural, if they meant citizen, they'd have said citizen. And when you go into what natural-born citizen means, look, the two parents could have been naturalized as long as they were citizens when the child was born. It doesn't have to have natural-born citizen parents.
Right.
They just have to be citizens. Citizens, they could have been from another country, as long as they were citizens when the child was born. You know, this is going to be a continuing problem. For instance, you know, Bobby Jindal, and you're going to have the same problem occurring, Marco Rubio. Their parents were not citizens when they were born. Had their parents been both naturalized when they were born, they would have, Bobby Jindal and Marco Rubio would be natural-born citizens. Since their parents were not naturalized, they weren't U.S. citizens when Jindal and Marco Rubio were born, Marco Rubio and Jindal are not natural-born citizens. There's not a partisan argument. And by the way, I've written books criticizing George W. Bush, the late great USA. I mean, this is not the narrative that the left wants to spin, that only crazy right-wing nutcases ask questions about natural-born citizen. The left is covering up that the original questions that were asked in 2008 were the left asking them about John McCain.
Yeah. But it is important do you think, to test the system, and this is an opportunity, clearly, where we can test the system as to vetting, for instance, people for public office.
This is going to be, the whole issue of natural-born citizens is going to be a continuing problem, because we have a very, the left has been making a diverse population their goal. We've had open borders. We've had many people here from many different countries. And whether somebody thinks that's good or bad or indifferent, it's going to mean a lot of future politicians are born to parents who were not U.S. citizens when they were born. These are issues that, again, we lack a lot of the documentary evidence to determine. Madeline Dunham worked for a bank. What her relationship was with the CIA, nobody knows. Ann Dunham, the daughter, when she was in Indonesia, ends up working for the Ford Foundation and Timothy Geithner's father, and then U.S. aid. Well, in these years, when she was in Indonesia that we know of for certain, I mean, even just taking the period of time of, 1967 through 1971, when Obama was 6 to 10 years old, well, that was a very turbulent time in the history of Indonesia. Most likely anyone who was involved in U.S. aid would have had some association, like Ann Dunham, with the CIA. Barack Obama, coming out of Colombia, works for a newsletter company in New York City that is well established to be a CIA front. Now, that again does not mean Obama was CIA. We don't know, we don't have any of the documents about Obama. He won't release his life history. We don't know his full work history or employment history. In terms of the natural-born citizen issue, the very fact that Obama's father was a Kenyan should have disqualified Obama, because it would mean that Obama was a dual citizen at birth, a citizen of the Commonwealth of Great Britain and a citizen, through his father, through Kenya. Kenya was a Commonwealth country, and Obama would have been then combined, dual citizen, U.S. citizen through his mother, possibly, maybe even that's in question. But at any rate, a dual citizen by definition is not a natural-born citizen, especially not somebody of Great Britain, is what the founders wanted to prevent. They wanted to prevent someone who had nationality ties to another country from assuming the highest position in the land, highest government position, the president. And especially nationality ties to Great Britain, because they're very afraid that through the back door, you know, a British citizen or someone who was a dual citizen with Great Britain or had been a citizen of Great Britain would become the president of the United States and would have an allegiance to the Great Britain that we had just fought a revolution to separate from.
Woodrow Wilson.
Well, Woodrow Wilson it didn't really have the birth conflicts or issues of natural born. But the problem you have here is that, you know, if we don't take seriously the issue of Article 2, Section 1, that our founding fathers put that into the Constitution consciously because they wanted this purity of birth allegiance to the United States in order to be president, that they created a higher standard than citizen or native-born citizen or qualified to be citizen at birth.
Beyond reproach.
You know, they wanted it to be a person whose parents, both parents, were citizens when they were born and who was born in the United States. They did this to the, you know, the current left who's, you know, in love with diversity and we're all citizens of the world, you know, kumbaya. It makes no sense to have these nation-state identifications. To those of us who value country and, you know, feel patriotic towards the United States and our history, feel an exceptionalism to this nation, feel an allegiance to the founding fathers, abandoning this principle is foolhardy, and you can't just throw away provisions of the Constitution that you don't like. The Constitution has provisions for amending it. There have been numerous attempts to amend this provision. They've all failed.
Eight Democratic congressional attempts since 2000.
Correct. And clearly it looks like anticipation that somebody like Barack Obama is coming around. The Democrats wanted to have to be president. And the Republicans are wink on it too. They're going to do everything they can to look at Marco Rubio being vice president and to say because his parents were, you know, they had a right to be here as foreign nationals, that was enough to make them equivalent to citizens on the way to citizenship. So why should we worry about these distinctions? Well, I think we should worry about these distinctions if we take the Constitution and the intents of our founding fathers seriously. And that's what, you know, this provision has never been repealed. And I think people like myself want to take it seriously. And then when we find the lying, the producing of false birth certificates, the withholding of documents as to whether or not Obama was ever a foreign student at any of these schools, leads to increasing suspicion that, you know, the Democrats wink know he's not eligible, and the only way they can hide this great deception is if they vilify anybody who dares ask the question. Because truly the emperor has no clothes. So anybody who points it out has got to be ridiculed into silence.
Well put. Can you comment on Andrew Breitbart's involvement in this investigation and the timing of what happened to him? And do you think, are you concerned about anything in that department?
Let me change tapes before you answer that question.
Well, guys, how long are we going to go?
How long have you got?
5 more minutes.
Okay, I got 10 minutes on this tape.
Okay, let's go.
Just quick, Andrew Breitbart.
Well, I think,
In a nutshell.
I mean, first of all, I had great affection for Andrew Breitbart, and I had tremendous admiration. You know, I spoke to Andrew even at CPAC and told him the work we were doing with Sheriff Arpaio. So his loss, his death, is not only untimely, it's a great tragedy in terms of the investigative capabilities he had and the contribution he was making to America. I want to see the autopsy. I know the family is convinced it was natural causes. Family doesn't want undue suspicion generated. And I'm going to respect the wishes of the family. But I'm going to take a serious look at the autopsy results. And if there's nothing there, then fine, we'll respect the wishes of the family. But of course, I think, you know, the loss at the time, Andrew's saying he was going to make these revelations, is going to raise suspicion, and I'm not going to fan the suspicion until I've got more concrete reason to do so. Proof. I want proof.
Okay. And what do you think is the most important, where we're at today with this investigation here in Phoenix? For people out there, audience, viewers, what's really the most important thing to happen right now?
Well, this is, first of all, is a law enforcement investigation. It's the first time a duly constituted law enforcement agency has said that there is probable cause of fraud in Obama's birth and other identity documents. If we've got somebody in the White House who's got identity fraud at the core of who they are, this is a question that ought to concern all Americans. And this is not going to go away. This issue is only going to deepen. It's only going to increase the suspicion. You know, whispering to Medvedev at an international well, what is this guy? You know, did he ever spend any time in the Soviet Union? Wouldn't even know all the nations he's traveled to. What was he doing in Pakistan? You know, where did Obama's passport come from? Did he use an Indonesian passport to go to Pakistan? Was his mother in the CIA? What did he do working for a CIA front? There's only questions about Obama. Intentionally, there's no answers. So with the demise of the United States, the constant efforts Obama's taken to weaken and destroy the United States, things I predicted he would do when I wrote The Abomination. You know, the book, Where's the Birth Certificate, has never been more relevant. Go read it now. You'll see the questions that are being pursued and posed there are being pursued by Arpaio's investigation as well. And take a look at this, you know, book. I have two books. The e-book, Saul Alinsky, The Evil Genius Behind Obama. I think it's critical to understand why birthers are demonized. It's a Saul Alinsky attack, pure and simple. And we have a book, The Question of Eligibility e-book, on the Arpaio investigation. That's going to be updated, and anybody who buys that book once can download the e-book updates without additional charge.
And this Bill Ayers connection, it's coming up everywhere.
Well, and more, we just did the story on the postman who delivered mail to the Ayers and said that Mrs. Ayers said that the Ayers family was paying for Barack Obama's tuition at Harvard as a foreign student. I mean, the postman saw Obama, connected Obama with this story. Well, let's see Obama's registration at all these schools. Was he a foreign student? You know, who paid for Obama's education? And this documents Ayers' involvement and the family's involvement with Obama at a much earlier age.
There's a relationship.
A relationship. They paid for the education. Why? Does this explain why Bill Ayers may have had such an interest even to writing, perhaps, Obama's Dreams for My Father? These questions are deepening now. They're not going away. They're deepening, and they're going to demand answer before the election.
Opponents of this particular effort by Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Maricopa County should be under no illusion and not to underestimate the cold case posse team, who are both serious and very capable of getting results in the investigation. They've gotten a number of results already, and they will continue to bring home results as time goes by. And as Joe Arpaio told us, that this investigation is not going to end tomorrow, it's not going to end next week, and it's not going to end likely next month. This is an ongoing effort because the people of Arizona have given him that authority to find the truth.
Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds? Go to INFOWARS.com and PrisonPlanet.tv for the latest headlines and cutting-edge information.